December's full moon reaches peak illumination on Wednesday, December 7th at 11:07 p.m. on the East Coast. According to the Farmer's Almanac, December's full moon is also known as the cold moon, a Mohawk name that conveys the conditions of this time of year, when the weather gets colder. This is also the season many people around the world celebrate holidays. December's full moon will kick off the party. The moon in the air sign of Gemini exactly opposes the fiery Sagittarian sun. The Gemini-Sagittarius polarity is an information axis dealing with mental activities. One description is that Gemini represents the lower mind, while Sagittarius represents the higher mind. A Gemini moon encourages us to think logically, while Sagittarius persuades us to have a broader perspective. Another way of thinking about it is that Gemini represents information, whereas Sagittarius represents knowledge. Ideally, a balance should be found between the two energies, and the opposition created by the full moon invites us to do just that. For people living on the East Coast, the full moon falls in between the 4th and 10th houses, the axis of home versus career or outside interests. While the constant deluge of outside activities enhanced by the conjunction of Mars with the moon fire your emotions and spur you to action, you need to balance that with the bigger picture and remember that your family and home is the most important thing of all. Ultimately, you won't be thinking about how much time you spent working, volunteering, or expending energy on causes. You'll be thinking of those closest to you and your relationships with them. It's all about balance. This full moon occurs at 16 degrees and 2 minutes of Gemini, opposite the Sun at 16 degrees 2 minutes of Sagittarius, affecting people born with personal planets and points at approximately 12 to 20 degrees of the mutable signs Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. This month, the lunar nodes of Taurus and Scorpio will be in the 9th house, 3rd house axis. Since the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius and the 3rd by Gemini, the energies of the full moon in Gemini are echoed by the node positions. We're back to the information axis again. With the south node in the water sign of Scorpio in the 3rd, we're coming from a wild array of emotional data points hitting us from all directions. The path we're moving towards is more stabilized, organized change brought on by the conjunction of Uranus and the north node in the earth sign of Taurus in the 9th house. Change for the sake of change is unproductive and too disruptive if left unchecked. Jupiter is traditionally known as the greater benefic and generally produces good outcomes. It is the planet of growth and has a strong social component. Jupiter is also the classical ruler of Pisces, so it is very happy in this sign. In the 7th house, Jupiter in Pisces will add an element of tolerance to your personal relationships. Jupiter aspects are more positive than negative. Jupiter is square Venus in Sagittarius and forms an out-of-sign square with Mercury in Capricorn, both in the 4th house of home. During Jupiter square Venus, you will enjoy the company of others, and it is a good time to enjoy pleasant activities, especially if you don't have to personally do anything to make them happen. You may be entertaining more at home than usual. As always with Jupiter, overindulgence can happen, so just exercise some caution with your exuberance in anything you undertake. The aspect between Mercury and Jupiter is out of sign, so let's take a minute to walk through the implications. While the two planets are sextile by sign, they are square by degree. So the effect of the square is muted by the complementary nature of the planetary signs of Pisces and Capricorn. Since Jupiter aspects are generally positive, the out-of-sign square with Mercury and Capricorn by degree will give you an optimistic outlook on life. You'll be able to make plans. Just be careful to attend to the details, since Jupiter's enthusiasm for the big picture can make it easier to miss the little details. Jupiter is also sextile Pluto and Capricorn in the 5th house. This is a time when you can make creative changes in your life. Pluto is more group-oriented, so you may find yourself engaged in more activities with others. And don't forget that the 5th house is for having fun. With the holiday season quickly approaching, these Jupiter aspects should make for a nice social season with friends and family. Just be careful not to let Jupiter's natural exuberance encourage you to commit yourself to too many activities. In summary, this full moon in Gemini is all about communicating, especially with family. With the sun in Sagittarius, it's also about having fun and a sense of adventure. The December full moon will most significantly impact people born with personal planets and points at approximately 12 to 20 degrees of the mutable signs Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. For people living on the East Coast, the full moon opposition falls between the 4th and the 10th houses, the axis of home versus career or outside interests. While the constant deluge of outside events enhanced by the conjunction of Mars with the moon fire your emotions and spur you to action, you need to balance that with the bigger picture. Remember that your home and family is the most important priority of all. This month, you'll be thinking of those closest to you and your relationships with them. It's all about balance. Jupiter's aspects with Mercury, Venus, and Pluto will encourage you to have a wonderful holiday season filled with fun activities, friends, and family. You may do more entertaining from home, and Mercury will help you plan it all out. Once again, these planetary aspects support the overall theme of balance. Just don't forget that you need to keep Jupiter's natural exuberance from encouraging you to commit yourself to too many things during the upcoming weeks. Thank you for watching. If you would like to be notified of future videos, please subscribe and click the notify bell icon so you'll know when new videos come out. If you enjoyed the video, please click on the thumbs up icon.